Hi everyone, I think we're live. I'm just going to go share this into the Transforming Future You group as well. If you're not already in the group, it's called Transforming Future You. I can pop a link under the video if you need it, just let me know. And just making sure this is coming across on the page and I can share this over. There it is. And if you're watching live or the replay, please do say hi. I love to say hi in the chat. Share to a group. There we are. And today I want to talk to you about taking the simplest path, and especially in relation to creating online courses or in some way doing an online business, online marketing, sharing your knowledge online. So I was thinking back to when the pandemic first started. So around March 2020, we all remember it. And unfortunately, still going. But when it first broke out and it was new, there was a lot of fear of the unknown and a lot of panic. And there was this big scramble from all of the people who had been maybe already thinking about offering their knowledge online for sale, like in the form of an online course, say. They maybe were thinking about that already, but they hadn't done it yet. And now all of a sudden, they felt like they had to get it done like yesterday. And it was like this race for survival almost. And people were really panicked. And a lot of people were like, well, I've already missed the bus now because now everyone will be doing it. And that isn't true. It's still the best time to be marketing your business online, no matter what kind of business that is. It's still just the best time for a business. And even though we do have the pandemic and we've got some difficult stuff going on, it's the best time even to be alive. It's hard to pick any time in past history that you would still rather be, unless it's still in the last kind of decade or so. Now, these people were panicked and they felt like they should have been more prepared, and now they either race to get it done or they give up because they've missed out already. And I even felt some tension, I think, towards me from people that I knew that had been meaning to maybe start an online course and they hadn't done it yet. And they were kind of like, well, you were prepared, weren't you? Because I already had online courses in place. Now, starting something new out of fear and panic is never the best way to go. You want to start something new because you're excited and you've got something to teach people and you want to share your knowledge and your gifts with the world and you want to find a way to get that across to them. You don't want to do it because you're scared and panicking and feeling like you have to. And some people, they did just need that extra push, and then it made them get it done. And they were really happy with how it turned out. And it opened up this whole new aspect to their business that they didn't have before, and this whole new income stream that they didn't have before. And now they're still going today. But for a lot of people, it just was this panic, and then it didn't actually continue to go anywhere. They just had the panic and they maybe started, or they maybe bought a course on how to do it and then never finished it because they weren't actually ready or wanting to do it from that place of want. They were doing it from that place of fear and panic. Now, if you maybe had been wanting to, and you maybe had a bit of that panic and you looked into it or you started, but you never really finished it, but you still kind of want to and you wonder if you've missed out, you haven't missed out. You don't need to feel like you've missed out or like there's only so many spots available in your niche for online courses and now they're all taken. They're not all taken. There's plenty of room for you. You can still do it. This is all a mindset thing. We've been talking about mindset on here all the time because everything comes back to mindset. And you don't have to feel like there's a scarcity and there's only so many spots and you've missed out on your spots. You haven't. You can still do it. So that's the first thing. And the second thing I want you to know is to take the simpler path. always look at what is the simplest path for me to get to where I'm trying to get to. Can I look at an example of someone that's already done it and follow it? Can I get a course that is all laid out for me to do it? But also, am I planning on doing this in the best way? Because using online courses and as an example, a lot of people felt like they had this mountain to climb because they felt like they needed to maybe get a nice camera or hire someone to film and edit, or film for hours and hours and edit for hours and hours and make 50 or 100 video lessons and this full curriculum and this really big course that taught every single thing about everything that they knew. And that is definitely not the simplest or the easiest path to get to the point where you are an online content creator and you're able to make a living from selling your knowledge online. You don't need to have the full blown, tertiary level, everything in it course straight away. And I used to do it that way. When I made my very first course, I felt like I had to make those 50 or whatever video lessons and have them all perfect and polished and edited and like everything, like I was an established business that had been doing this for 10 years already when I hadn't. And the problem with that is you can spend hours creating that when you're not getting paid, and then at the end of it offer it and not have anyone buy it, and that can be really deflating. And I've done that. And now when I make a new offering like an online course, all I have before I launch it, the only part that I really do is bullet points. It's a bullet point list. So I start with a bullet point list on what I want to cover in the course, and then I open that up to bullet points within each of those, and then maybe another level. So you have your main course, your modules, and your lessons, and then the content of the lessons. And it's all just bullet points of what I want to cover, and that is all I do, and then it's ready to launch. I do create slides, but I send my bullet point list to my assistant now, and he creates the slides. So maybe you will have to make some slides. But even then, I would create one lesson at a time as you go through the course. So I would still start with that bullet point list before you offer it, and then it's ready to go. And then you can offer it, people can sign up. Now you've got some students, you can deliver the first lesson you've got ready, and then make the next lesson by the second week. And that may feel like, oh, that's not finished enough to sell it, but it's actually a better way of doing it, because as you create, you can get feedback from your students and use that to create a better lesson than what you might have done if you were just sitting there trying to think of everything that you need to cover for your students. The second thing is, it doesn't have to be a full course. You could start by just dipping your toe in the water and offering a paid webinar. So you might start with offering one paid webinar on one specific topic, a low barrier cost to entry so people can easily sign up, come along, you can get paid, you can see what it's like to market and get paid for your knowledge online and experience that amazing feeling of putting out there what you have to offer for sale and having people buy it and find value in it and feel like they've got an amazing deal and have the transformation that you can provide to them. And you get to experience all of that, and you can get some feedback and some testimonials and some money and some experience and have some fun with it and make it enjoyable and easy. And coming from that place of fun and interest and passion rather than, holy crap, everyone's going online, I have to do it too. And that's another point. You don't have to. Just because everyone else is, it doesn't mean you have to. And there's different versions of it, and there's different ways to do it. You might just offer consultations over a Zoom call, one-on-one. So I do some coaching that way. And that is now more accessible and more acceptable all over the world, and has broken down barriers of distance and times and all sorts of things, where we can now reach more people doing it that way. But it doesn't have to be a course. You can start with one-on-one consults. You can just do that one video session or a short 5-day challenge or 5-day course or 1-week course or a 2-week course. It's just something that's a smaller version of maybe where you still want to go in the end. Maybe you still want to have a big signature course, but you don't have to start with that. And you don't have to have it all ready and done and fully created before you're willing to offer it up for sale and start actually making an online income. Okay, so that's the main message I wanted to bring to you today is don't get caught up trying to get it all perfect. Everyone's always getting caught up in perfectionism with these things as well. And I fall back into that myself sometimes too. But at the end of the day, you don't need to have everything perfect and you don't need to have your best version as your first version. Just take a small piece of it so that you have something to start with and something that you can create and get a feel for and see if it's your style. Find your style. See if this is the way you want to run things. You can do this one-off as pre-recorded if you don't want to do live, or you can do it live and get feedback from your customers as you deliver the information. That's a great way to do it as well. So that's all I have for you today. Make sure you have joined the group. It's called Transforming Future You. And in there, we're talking about all the mindset that goes along with putting ourselves out there, marketing online, selling online courses, operating our service-based businesses as well. As you know, or you may know, my history is 10 years as a dog trainer doing one-on-one dog training consultations and almost 5 years now as a business coach, coaching with other trainers and helping them to grow their business as well. And now expanding into online marketing and all sorts of business owners that are, at the end of the day, changing the lives of their customers. So I'll put the link to that group below. Make sure you're in there. And I do also have an offer for you. I have my Mind Hacks to Millions. It's just a short course, but it is jam-packed with mindset hacks that entrepreneurs all over the world use to train their mind to be more successful and more primed for success. So just to give you a quick idea of what's inside Mind Hacks to Millions, in the first module, we're going to talk about being more focused and more productive. People always come to me about making more use of their time management, being more focused and productive. So that's what this is about, and the right habits that you need to actually get there so that you're not wasting time on fluff tasks and getting distracted and being squirrely. And fluff tasks is when you feel like you're busy, but you're not actually getting things done that move the needle in your business. So it's about how to focus on the real needle movers. Next, you will learn about how to stop holding yourself back mentally and the stories that you're telling yourself, that little voice in your head that's telling you can't do it, how to turn that around, flip the script, and tell yourself you can do it as a more automatic habit, or building that to be a more automatic habit. We also discuss being more mindful in the present moment and how that can lead to more happiness, and why you would, well, everyone wants to be more happy, but why you would want to be more happy in relation to your business, because happy people are proven to be more successful at anything that they do, including our business goals. We also have in there a meditation for people who don't like meditating. So if you've heard about how good meditation is, but you've struggled with it in the past and you really struggle to quiet your mind and all of that, I do as well. So I've made this meditation that I've thrown in for people who are like that and can't get all the thoughts out, because that's not what meditation is about. And so this is how to turn it around, just start fresh and have some relaxed time and some guided meditation, so we can just tell you what to think about. And if other thoughts are popping in as well, that doesn't matter. And then we've got some wealth creation bonuses. So you get my menu of wealth creation habits. I recommend just starting with one and changing one thing at a time so you don't overwhelm yourself. And then I've got my turn it around affirmations as well. And all of that is only $39. So I will put the link to that as well as the Facebook group below this video as well. And then I will see you hopefully in the group. And thanks for watching. I see we've got someone on watching live. But thanks if you're watching the replay as well. Leave me a comment, say hi, and I will see you soon. Bye.